everyone, welcome to StudyIQ English. Recently, Lake Sambar has been in the news many times. Why has it been in the news? A topic important for GS Paper 3, Environment, Ecology, Biodiversity, Conservation. So we are looking at Lake Sambar. Why? Because recently there was a great news. The news was that this year we have seen an extraordinary influx, arrival of migratory birds. Many species of birds, especially the vibrant flamingos, and this year witnessed about 40% higher migratory bird turnover as compared to the previous year. So that was a positive development. And now that we are talking about flamingo in the Sambar Lake, quickly do let me know in the comment box, where in India do we have the great flamingo sanctuary? It was in the news recently. Let me give you a hint. It is also a well-known biosphere reserve. So do let me know the name of the reserve. Do let me know where is the great or the greater flamingo sanctuary situated. Which state? Do let me know. Now quickly coming back to Sambar Lake. This is a positive development. So many migratory birds. The revival of the ecosystem. But in the last 2 days, there have been certain very negative developments associated with this area. We have seen about hundreds of dead fish on the bank of the Sambar Lake. Why suddenly so many fish are dying? Unfortunately, the number of fish which are now dying, and they are just scattered about the coast area, the bank area of the lake, has risen up to about 1,000 now. So scientists and environmental workers are asking whether it is about an extreme increase in the salinity of the water, or whether is it due to a degradation in the water because of the mining and because of various other reasons that have now made the water quite toxic to the species, to the fauna that's existing there. So that's a question we are asking. And do not forget, it was exactly a few months before that there was another news about Sambar Lake that many migratory bird species were also dropping dead in this region. So is the water becoming unfit? Now do remember, this is also an area for salt mining in India. So in the news right now is the Lake Sambar. Let's quickly have a look. Now Lake Sambar is often also called as a lake that fluctuates its color, sometimes pink to sometimes red. Why? We shall see in the video now. So looking at the Sambar Lake, let's remember it's the largest saltwater lake. That is, it's the largest inland saltwater lake in India, situated in the districts of Jaipur and Nagaur in Rajasthan. It's also very close to Ajmer. Okay, so let's remember it's the largest inland saltwater lake. And on that note, do also let me know 2 more questions that I'm asking you. That's a static GK question. One, which is the largest coastal lagoon in India? And second, which is the largest freshwater lake in India? Do update me with your responses. Now jumping back to Lake Sambar. Lake Sambar is largest inland saltwater lake. As we said, it is in the state of Rajasthan, typically surrounded by few districts including Ajmer, Nagaur as well as Jaipur. If you look at the area, it's a large lake. It's about 200 square kilometer in size and flanked by all the sides by the Aravali Hill. Now, Aravali Hill is also something that has been making news. Why? Because recently the government has a proposal, and under that proposal, approved by the Supreme Court of India, only mountain slopes that are about 100 meters high will qualify as official Aravali range. And anything that's below that is not then Aravali, which means only above 100 meters should be protected from mining. Rest below 100 meters can be given a permission for mining. That has raised a serious concern about degradation of Aravali, which is now creating too much desertification that is spreading into the eastern area as well. So are we compromising on official Aravali range by this recent decision? That was the controversy, do remember. Now coming back to Lake Sambar, yes, it is flanked by the Aravali Hills, one of the oldest mountain chains. Now if you look at the drainage of this lake, naturally this lake doesn't have an external outlet. It doesn't flow into any kind of ocean. Then what happens? It is fed by rivers like Luni River, very famous. Then Khari River, Mantha, Khandela, all these rivers typically feed water in that lake. And do remember, because of its unique ecosystem and the fact that so many migratory birds come here, it was declared as a Ramsar site in 1990, which is the last latest Ramsar site from India? Is it from the state of Bihar or is it from the state of Gujarat? Now quickly let me know in the comment box because we have spoken in detail about that. And now Sambar Lake is also known for production of salt. It is one of the largest salt manufacturing units or hubs in India. Talking about other things associated with Sambar Lake, here's a quick map that gives you a picture of how the lake is situated in Rajasthan. Sambar Lake is salty. It is extremely briny. It is very salty. And why is it so salty? Because it has an inland drainage. Okay, it doesn't have any external drainage system. It is completely inland. The water here doesn't drain out. The water keeps evaporating. And if the water keeps evaporating, then it leaves behind a very high salty content. A very concentrated mix of salt is left behind. That then also gets multiplied because of the high temperature that this area experiences. So very high temperature that promotes evaporation, and then water evaporates, leaving behind lot of heavy salt content in the water body. That means the Sambar Lake is then extremely salty. It doesn't have an outflow, we have seen that. And because of that, all the salt surrounding by the rock and the desert dust, it creates a water that is typically a solution now. That's made up of sodium chloride, carbonate and sulfate. And hence, it also sometimes looks pinkish in color, reddish in color. The vegetation that this area sees is typically characterized as xerophytic. It is characterized as xerophytic because it is a vegetation that survives in very dry climate. And now the Sambar basin has a centripetal kind of drainage pattern. You must have studied drainage patterns when you talk about river basins in India, dendritic and so many of them. So remember talking about Sambar Lake. It represents a centripetal drainage pattern. As the streams, all of them that feed the lake, they drain inside the lake, making a centripetal system. And also let's remember, I already discussed that with you, flamingos are the species of bird that are known to survive in salty, marshy and very briny water conditions, and therefore Sambar also sees an area that is rich in presence of migratory birds and flamingo species, both the species. And apart from Run of Kutch, this becomes then one of the highest destination, the topmost destination for migratory birds and flamingo species to come and gather here. I already asked you a question about which biosphere reserve and which state have the greater flamingo sanctuary. So that you need to answer me with regards to flamingo. And now if you see a quick picture here, now that's the typical effect of water that you see in the Sambar Lake. It's very pink in color. So usually the news will always say that the Sambar Lake is right now experiencing a shade of pink. It could be because we are mentioning the flamingo who gather here in thousands. Apart from that, also the watercolor is also looking very pink and very reddish. Why does it look like that? It looks like that because of a dense mineral rich salty content that remains behind in the water. Because of that, salt loving microorganisms that thrive in salty conditions named as halophiles, they are seen in abundant over here. They survive in these extreme salty conditions which provide this color to the lake, the very reddish, purplish and pink color. So do remember the reason for the color, and do remember these are known as halophiles. Sometimes prelims questions can be based on such statements. And now looking at why is it a matter of concern? Why are ecologists and environmental conservationists worried about the ecosystem of Sambar Lake in Rajasthan? Yes, they are worried. They are worried because hundreds of fish have been found dead in the area. They've all been dying and floating up to the banks of the lake. But similarly, as I mentioned to you, in 2024 and once more in 2019, there was a news about Sambar Lake which was linked to poisoning. Botulism, that's avian botulism, poisoning of so many migratory birds that collect around this area. Could it be because of some specific pollution in this region? Could it be because of mining that happens in the surrounding area of the lake? Could it be because of the high toxicity or the increasing every year, annual increase in the saltiness of the water? What could be the reason behind these many fish dying and so many cases of bird poisoning that happen here? People say it could be because of oxygen deficiency. Too much increase in the brightness, in the saltiness of the water. Why? Because lack of oxygen in the water combined with extreme concentration of salt deposit. That could have led to these many deaths. Or could it be the chemical changes? There are refineries nearby, mines nearby. Could that have changed? Could that have changed the water content and made it more toxin-ridden, more polluted? Now, these could all be contributing factors, but then obviously it's a matter of concern because Sambar Lake is it's a very unique wetland from India. It's a very unique ecosystem as well. So, we need to do everything to preserve that, and that's why Sambar Lake has been in the news right now. And do remember all the facts we discussed, plus do answer the questions that I asked you. A quick practice question for prelims. With reference to Sambar Lake in India, look at the following statements. 1. It is India's largest inland saltwater lake and it lies in the depression, in the kind of, surface topography that is very low-lying, created by the Aravalli range. That's also in the news. 2nd, the lake is fed mainly by Chambal and Banas River. 3. Sambar Lake is a designated Ramsar site. It's known for hosting migratory birds such as flamingo and pelicans. Which of these statements are valid? It's an easy question. Do keep me posted with your answer. And more than that, if you have a perspective about this unique ecosystem, if you want to share something about flamingos, if you want to share something about other saltwater ecosystems in India, you're most welcome. In fact, on our platform, let's try to make it as interactive as we can to grow together. Share your perspectives that are non-political and that are not targeting a specific individual, but which can enrich UPSC preparation. Your comments are welcome. Now, quickly a reminder about the SAIL program. If you are writing your UPSC exam in 2027, this could be a wonderful opportunity. A SAIL program that begins at 12,999 only. And at this price, what do you get? You get more than 12 months of thorough preparation in all GS papers. GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Essay writing, answer writing. Yes, you also get complete one-on-one mentorship. The chance to study and interact with your favorite faculties. Books, material, online, offline, both. Everything available. Practice questions, test series, all included. A complete package for UPSC selection, prelims, mains, interview guidance. So join today if you are really willing to professionally and very, very systematically study for this exam. Use code SPLIVE. Whether you are writing in English, Hindi and bilingual, all that are covered here. Similarly, for 2028, we begin a program only at 31,999, but then that will take care of you for more than 16 months. Throughout prelims, mains, interview. Preparation, study, revision, guiding, everything provided. So make StudyIQ a part of your preparation. Enroll for the SAIL. It's one click away. Use code SPLIVE because the batch is beginning on 9th December. Thank you so much.